The story opens in Foshan, a city flourishing with prosperity and a vibrant kung fu culture. The emergence of martial arts clubs in the area has established Foshan as a province renowned for its martial arts excellence. Master Lu, a newly appointed martial arts instructor who has just opened his own school in Foshan, seeks out Ip Man for a friendly sparring session after hearing of Ip Man's exceptional skills in kung fu. This private meeting is meant to remain confidential, with the outcome undisclosed to others.
Tang.
Ip Man graciously assists Lu to his feet and escorts him out, reassuring him that he will not divulge the results of their encounter. As Lu departs, he appears visibly disheartened, his confidence shaken upon realizing the ineffectiveness of his Lu fist style. The following day, Ip Man meets his friend Quan at a local restaurant. Quan shares his ambition to establish a cotton mill aimed at providing clothing for the community and invites Ip Man to join him as a partner. Although initially hesitant about the business proposal, Ip Man ultimately decides to support Quan by lending him the necessary funds to initiate the venture, with the understanding that Quan will repay him when possible. Later, a group of outsiders arrives in Foshan, eager to challenge the local martial arts masters. Jin, the leader of this group, initiates the first duel. During a break to regroup, Jin expresses his ambition to establish his own martial arts school in Foshan, aspiring to claim supremacy. However, a passing waiter interrupts, cautioning them that they cannot assert superiority until they have defeated Ip Man, who is regarded as the best martial artist in the area. Motivated by fear, Jin sets out to confront Ip Man. Upon arriving at Ip Man's residence, Jin introduces himself and declares their intention to open a martial arts school. Ip Man responds casually, suggesting that they merely need to find a suitable location and do not need to fight him to establish their school. He requests that they leave. Unwilling to accept this rejection, Jin taunts Ip Man by belittling the martial arts scene in Foshan, provoking him into a confrontation. Realizing that Jin will not depart without a fight, Ip Man reluctantly agrees to the challenge.
金師傅，我啲功夫還可以嘛？
輸給南方強。
After being overwhelmed and humiliated by his defeat, Jin leaves, grappling with dissatisfaction regarding his own skills. Several years later, Japan invades China, plunging the nation into chaos and depriving many of their livelihoods, leading to widespread starvation. Under Japanese occupation, factories and infrastructure are devastated, leaving only a few operational. Ip Man's residence is confiscated and repurposed as the headquarters for the Japanese army, rendering his family homeless and forcing them to wander in search of shelter. With no other options and his family in desperate need of money for basic provisions, Ip Man reluctantly takes a job shoveling coal. While working, he reunites with Lin and observes numerous other martial arts masters laboring alongside him. During their lunch break, Japanese soldiers approach, seeking Chinese martial artists to engage in matches against their Japanese counterparts. The officer announces that the prize for victory is a bag of rice. While Lin and several others eagerly volunteer, Ip Man advises Lin against participating, expressing concern about the potential repercussions if they were to emerge victorious. Upon arriving at a Japanese dojo, Lin and two companions confront General Mura himself. With an air of confidence, Mura boldly challenges all three simultaneously, promising them a bag of rice regardless of the outcome. The following day at the coal yard, Ip Man inquires about Lin's absence from work, but no one has seen him since the previous day. As Japanese soldiers return, seeking additional volunteers for another round of matches, Ip Man steps forward, volunteering himself while pondering the fate of his friend. Upon entering the dojo, Ip Man witnesses the execution of Master Lu, who lost his match. Fueled by rage, Ip Man volunteers for the next bout, boldly declaring his intention to fight 10 opponents at once. The general, taken aback by this proclamation, agrees, and the 10 fighters enter the arena. As the other fighters close in on him, the general intervenes, demanding to know Ip Man's identity and urging him to return another time. Ip Man simply identifies himself as a Chinese man before departing with a bloody bag of rice. Returning to the mill factory, Ip Man hurries to the aid of his friend Quan, who has been assaulted by Jin and his cronies. Unfortunately, he arrives too late to prevent the attack. In his battered state, Quan implores Ip Man to teach them martial arts so they can defend themselves in these troubled times. Feeling powerless to protect those he cares about, Ip Man reluctantly agrees, recognizing the necessity of self-defense training for everyone. Meanwhile, the general, puzzled by Ip Man's absence, dispatches soldiers to bring him back to the dojo by force. While engrossed in a game of hide and seek with his son and a friend, Ip Man is unexpectedly confronted by Japanese soldiers intending to capture him. In a swift and decisive action, he defeats the soldiers and realizes that remaining in the area is no longer safe for his family. Determined to find a new home, they depart, leaving behind their perilous surroundings. The following day, chaos erupts at the mill factory as Jin and his gang return, demanding money. However, the factory workers, now trained in martial arts, refuse to back down and decide to fight back.
就给我打！
Later, Jin betrays Ip Man's whereabouts to the Japanese soldiers. They gather everyone at the mill and resort to violence, beating Quan to extract information. In a selfless act to protect his friends, Ip Man surrenders himself to prevent further harm. As the colonel officer prepares to shoot Ip Man, the general intervenes, recognizing the potential value of Ip Man's skills. He offers Ip Man a chance to spare his life by teaching Chinese kung fu to the Japanese army. However, Ip Man refuses and instead proposes a duel with the general himself. Ignoring the challenge, the general orders his men to take Ip Man away. General Miura orchestrates a public duel, aiming to showcase the superiority of Japanese martial arts over Chinese kung fu. He hopes that a fair tournament between himself and Ip Man will foster peace between their nations. As Ip Man is brought in by the soldiers, the colonel officer from the previous night warns him to lose or face dire consequences. With tension thick in the air, the two opponents stand face to face, exchanging respectful bows before the battle commences. The story culminates with Ip Man standing before the crowd, basking in his moment of triumph as they cheer his name enthusiastically. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out. Ip Man is struck in the shoulder by the colonel officer and collapses to the ground. This incites the crowd to erupt into a riot fueled by anger and outrage.